Okay, Chany. So first of all, I want to apologize. We didn't put in the G, the Chany G. So Chany G Rosengarten. So first of all, Chany, thank you so much for coming on this morning. As I say every single morning, every time I read another bio of another Jewish woman, I'm like floored. So it's just amazing, the accomplishments. I don't know. So thank you so much, Chany. Chany G. Rosengarten is a Hasidic wife, mother of 4 young children, and she's a #1 Amazon bestselling author. I'm going to mention the books. The Boundary is You and Promise Me Jerusalem. And she's a powerful motivational speaker. She teaches empowerment, self-care, and boundaries in business, love, and relationships. And her online courses have changed many lives. And we would like to share your online courses with everybody afterwards, Chany. So Chany, I'm going to put myself off my video and my mute, and the screen is completely all yours.
Okay, good morning, everyone. And what a beautiful way to start the day, just when the day is at its purest. For those of you who are living in my time zone, the sun is at its youngest, it's renewed. And this is how we start the day. What a beautiful way to start our day. Everyone, let's just congratulate ourselves and appreciate the privilege that we have to be alive and singing Hashem's praises in the early morning. Today, we're going to be talking about the surprising truth of how to transform a relationship. And I want to ask you, how do you think a relationship is transformed? When you think of making a relationship better, do you think you need to try harder, but you've tried already? Do you think you need to be kinder, but you know what's in your heart, and you know that being kinder and being more understanding and compassionate is something that you would naturally be if the circumstances are right? Do you think communication is the way to improve a relationship? A lot of people say the key to a good relationship is communication. And, 95% of our communication is nonverbal. It's how we are. It's not what we say. So communication isn't the key. Is it to be mevater and to sacrifice ourselves? If you ask anyone who's done that, you know that there's no limit there's no end to sacrificing. You can go more and more and more until there's nothing left of you. So what is the secret to transforming a relationship? Before I start, I just want to say some of you are in a relationship that's good as it is, and good for you. Somebody reached out to me yesterday and she said, do you have experience with infidelity in a perfect marriage? And I think to myself, I do have experience helping women with infidelity, but I don't have experience with perfect marriages. But if you are in a perfect marriage, this information is something that can help you understand your sisters, your neighbors, your daughters, your friends, and the courage and the bravery they have every day. But for those of you who do have something in your relationship that you want to transform, let's do this. I'm standing in front of an office building, and this Suburban drives up, and it's filled nose to tail with boxes and machinery. We're having this party. We're having a smoothie bar as a corporate party, and we ordered a local juice bar to come over and create juices in front of, to everyone's specifications, acai bowls, smoothies. So the guy rolls up, and I'm there to help, and I helped him unpack his commercial grade orange juice squeezer, his blenders, his boxes of bananas and oranges, and we're schlepping everything from outside of the building to the elevator. And we're going back and forth. And finally, the elevator is completely full, and I'm holding this box of oranges, and I kind of tiptoe between the boxes and get myself into the elevator, and I'm holding this crate of oranges, which is quite heavy. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to put the box down, because if I do, I'll have to pick it up again. We're almost there. So I hold the box, I keep holding it. And another girl who's there to help says, why don't you just put the box down? And I say, we're almost there. So I'm holding it and we get out of the elevator. I'm still holding it and I need to punch in the number, the keypad to the office, and I'm still holding it. And by the time I put that box down, my arms were shaking and shivering from the effort of holding a box all this time. Meanwhile, my friend uses her foot to just kick the boxes out of the elevator, kick them into the office, and she's not half as exhausted as I am. With relationships, we're often holding a heavy box. And the first step to transforming a relationship is put the box down. Put it down. You don't need to hold everything. You can just put the box down. So we're going to be talking about 3 steps to transforming a relationship. And these 3 steps are so powerful. They have helped so many women take a relationship that was painful and transform it into one that was joyous and free and connected and safe. Number 1 is put that box down. Stop working so hard. Hashem knows how hard you're working, and you don't have to. I feel like there's some backlight that is kind of getting in the way. I'm just going to take a second. Put that box down. You don't have to work so hard on your relationship.
Honey,
yeah.
Honey, sorry to disturb you. There are 2 lights on either side of your head that are a little distracting as you move between them. Sorry, doll.
I've been noticing these lights. How are we doing? How are we doing now? Are we better? Okay.
Now yes.
Okay.
Yes, much better. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. So the first step is you don't have to work so hard. God knows how hard you've worked. You don't have to work hard on your husband. You don't need to, if you have tried begging, pushing, convincing, withholding, if you've tried everything, it's time to stop. You're not going to change anything by changing anything. You can't change another person. That's the unfortunate fact, right? People come to me, they say, so how is this going to work if I work with you, if my husband is the one who's causing a lot of pain, if he's in a lot of pain, if he doesn't want to heal, how's this going to work? And the truth is, you cannot change another person. That's the unfortunate truth, but it's fortunate too, because you have a lot of power. So the next step we think is maybe I need to work harder, right? Maybe I need to be mavater more, be kinder, be nicer, read more books, take more courses, change my midas. What can I change? And the truth is, you don't need to change anything either. You're good. You're good as you are. Take that in. Can you feel that for a second and say, I'm good as I am. The way I am lovable. I am deserving of support. I am deserving of respect. I'm deserving of a wonderful relationship that feels supportive and good. I don't need to change anything. So where does the change happen? A relationship is made up of 3. It's you, it's him, and then it's we, us. And some people call it the third partner in creation, which is Hashem. There's that magical dynamic between the 2 of you that is more than him and more than you. It's the 2 of you together in the marriage. It's the relationship. It's as if that is a third partner, and it really is. When you bring things into that partnership that you want there, the partnership becomes transformed. For example, one of the big things that fall away when a relationship is not working is safety, right? You want to come home, and in your home, you want to feel, the first thing you want to feel when you walk into the house, into your home is, this is my home. This is my safe space. I'm good here. I can see myself fully. I can be myself fully. I'm completely comfortable. And that usually falls away in a painful relationship. One of the first things is, I don't feel safe to be myself. I'm not okay. I need to watch what I'm saying. I need to change. He's not good the way he is. Something needs to change. Safety is something that when it falls away, we're looking to our partner to give it to us. We're saying, you need to change so that I can be safe. I need to be safe in my own home. And the truth is, he can't make you safe. That's how you got unsafe originally. You can't necessarily create the safety for both of you, but you can introduce safety into the relationship. And when you bring safety in, it's like you're storing it in that third partnership. You're putting it in that third partner. You're bringing safety to the marriage. And what happens is you both start acting in a more safe way because you've introduced that into the relationship. So that third partner, that's where the change happens. You don't need to change him. You don't need to change yourself, but you do need to say, what do I want in my marriage? And how can I bring it in? How can I make myself be seen, understood, validated, appreciated? All the things I want, I bring it into the relationship. So that's step number one. Put that box down. Stop working so hard. You don't need to change anyone. You've done enough. You've done enough. Now it's your time to relax. Step number two is when I'm in that elevator, if I pressed floor number 4 and we're going up, ding, 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 like the reason I was holding the box was I was like, we're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost on the 3rd floor where the party was going to take place. So I'm not putting the box down. And the truth is, put the box down. When you'll get to the place where you're going, you will know that you're there. The door will open. You'll leave the elevator. You don't need to work hard now because when you know where you're going, you will get there. How do we get to where we want to go? It starts by pressing the right button. If you press the right button in the elevator, you will be getting to floor number 3. You need to know where you're going. So a lot of women tell me, I want that the marriage should be less painful. Just make it less painful. And the question is, well, what do you want? What do you want? Less painful it's a thing. It's definitely better than more painful. But where are you actually going? Where is this leading you? What do you want? So what's the opposite of less painful, right? If you're saying, I want him to stop criticizing me. What do you want? Do you want just space, right? Nobody should criticize me. Just let me be. Do you want appreciation? Do you want respect? Do you want to be adored and deeply appreciated for who you are? Where are we headed, right? If you take the thing that you don't want and think about this for a second, if you can think about where you are right now and what you don't want, what would you like instead? And sometimes we think very realistically. We're thinking, well, not this. So just, let's say I don't want him to criticize me, or another example is he's always absent. He's always on his phone. He's always ignoring me. He's never present. He's always distracted, right? So what do you want? Well, on one level, right? On one level, you want his attention, right? And it's hard for us to admit, this is what I want. I want his attention. You deserve his attention. So maybe you're thinking, well, at least if he puts down the phone for 10 minutes a day, at least when he walks in, just agree to me. When we're sitting at the supper table, he shouldn't have his phone with him. He should be attentive to me. That's at the most basic level. That's just the level you can imagine now because you're one step below that. So one step above that would be he puts his phone into his pocket when he walks into the door. But what do you really want? If you could go for the gold, what would you go for? Maybe you want him to spend a lot of quality time with you. Maybe you want him to be loving and attentive to you. Maybe you want that both of you should be having shared interests and shared time together. If you could have the most amazing thing in this situation, what would it be? You may as well have a vision for yourself where you're getting everything that you want, not just the crumbs, right? So think about this. Wherever you are right now, what would you like? What's the realistic thing you would like? And if you could get whatever you want, whatever you originally imagined, what you imagined when you were young and when you didn't know what life would give you, what would you have wanted? go for that, because when we have that vision, when we know where we're going, we do get there. I see this over and over. You will get there. You just need to have the courage to hold space for what you want and to admit it. The reason we're not admitting it and we're just saying, I just don't want this. I want to push away the pain. But what do you want? The reason we don't admit it is because if you were to know that, yes, you deserve attention and love and time together and respect, all the good things, right? If you deserve all of that, and right now you're in a situation where you're not getting it, it hurts more to know what's possible. So instead of us hurting by knowing what's possible, we forget what's possible and we just stay with what's right in front of us. But the truth is that when you can hold what's possible, you will get there. It will take time. There will be that pregnant pause, that moment in between when you don't know that you're getting it. You'll be waiting. The waiting is painful, but you're a woman. You know what it's like to take potential and make it real. That's what the feminine is. We take potential. We go through 9 months of making something, of birthing a child, of birthing reality. Women birth way more than just children. We birth so much potential into the world. And we do that by knowing the process. You gotta hold space for your dreams in order for it to develop fully. It's painful, it's uncomfortable. There's a first trimester, there's a third trimester. It's not comfortable, but you know how to do it. You know how to do it in many areas of your life. And one of those areas is relationship. You know what you want deep inside of you, or when you were younger, there's a place inside of you that knows what you want and where you're going. It's not where you are right now. You don't have to deal with the immediate now and think that that's your only reality available. There's better and there's more. So hold that space, know where you're going, because you will get there. It might take time, but you can hold that respect, hold that space and say, honey, we know where we're going. We are getting there. And I've seen this over and over again and again. When you have the courage to hold the space for yourself and for what you want, you will get there. And so it's like pressing the button on the elevator. You press that button, trust that you will get there, right? And that brings us to the third step to transforming relationships. And that is the trust, right? Being in that elevator, I'm holding those oranges and thinking, I need to hold the oranges because we're almost there. And the truth is, not only don't I need to schlep the oranges, I don't even need to schlep myself. I'm not on the steps where I'm using my own energy to go step, 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 step. I'm standing, and there's something with big metal strings that are pulling me up. There's something bigger than me that is pulling me up. In relationship, it's the same thing. Who you are, you can't create something that is much better than where you've been until now, right? Your childhood affects you. Where you've been until now, your beliefs affect you. You can't change your husband either. But there's something bigger than you. You are not the elevator. The elevator is doing the work. There's something bigger than you that is doing the work for you. When you have put down all the hard work and just decided, what do I want in this relationship? The next thing that happens is there's a power that is greater than you, that wants you to be successful and that takes you up to where you're going. Hashem is there for you. You're not the only partner in your marriage. You're not alone in this. You have support. There is a power greater than you that wants you to succeed. And women tell me, because we've women who come to me are generally women who've gone through the process of trying, and they say to me, maybe it's bashert for me that I must suffer. And that is not true. We are not meant to suffer. Our pain is an invitation. Our pain is saying, here, where the pain is, that's your invitation to look at it and say, how can I transform it? What do I need to do? How do I need to grow so that I become as big as the pain and then bigger, so that my pain gets transformed? You're not meant to suffer. Your pain is an invitation to grow. Trust the process and trust that if you're in pain, you're going to get out of the pain at a higher level where you currently are at. You are going up, you're not going down, and you don't need to stay stuck. Even if you stayed stuck for many years, this is your wake-up call. This is your invitation. Know that you're not meant to suffer. You're meant to take your pain and say, okay, something's not working here. Because if I'm in pain, I need to change that so that I am in okayness, so that I am in connection, so that I am in the presence of Hashem, so that I know that I'm supported, so that I know that I'm loved and that things will be okay. And that is our third step. You need to trust that you're getting there. You are getting there. Especially, listen, some people say, well, I never got to the third floor, right? You're standing outside of the elevator. Once you're in that elevator, put the boxes down, press the button, because it'll take you up there. You will go there. If you've started a process where you know that you deserve a better relationship and you know what you want, you will get there. It may take some time, but trust the process. You are getting there. So that is step number 3. Let go. You don't need to work so hard. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is know where you're going, know what you deserve, know what you want. And step number 3 is trust the process, trust in something bigger than you, trust in Hashem, because you are being supported to your best life. I'm going to read a short passage from my book, The Boundary Is You. The Boundary Is You is a guide to creating boundaries by loving yourself more. And this short line, I think, sums it up best. The world is waiting for you to be in your fullness. The entire population needs you to be your best self. The people who are most intimately affected by you need you to love yourself. So take good care of yourself. Build those relationships by building yourself. And that is the surprising truth of transforming relationships. It's not hard work. It's you loving you, caring for you, knowing what you want, and going for it. Thank you so much.
Chany?
Yes.
Chany, can you take a few questions?
Absolutely.
Can I give one comment? This is so incredible, and you're going to laugh when I tell you what happened. You mentioned, this, but I'll give an example. And my husband, 35 years, Chany Nahora, and I said to him, I went, oh my gosh, like you're really more attentive and affectionate, the 3 A's, and right, affection, attention, and appreciation. I said, that's incredible. You're really so much better at this. I said, do you realize that you're behaving better? And he said, I don't know what you're talking about. So it proved to me that Hashem comes in and makes things happen by exactly what you're saying. Oh, sorry, my battery. And literally, mamish, I tested him on it, and it wasn't him. It was entirely Hashem. Isn't that amazing?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, women tell me all the time, I don't know what happened, right? And people tell me, my husband says, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever you're doing, like, just keep doing it, right? And doesn't have to be so brutal. It doesn't have to be so pushy. We just need to allow for this to come through for us.
Exactly. Thank you. It was beautiful.
Anyone else? I think Charlene,
Yes.
your hand's up. Go ahead, Charlene.
Okay, so I just want to illustrate about letting go and let God, because for years I would make a big point. I have a blended family. I married a man with 4 children, and I will make a big deal about my birthday and a big deal about my anniversary. So I used to plan it, blah, blah, blah. I want to go to a restaurant, do something. So for years I went against the current, and then I let it go. I said, no, I'm happily married, more or less. I don't have to celebrate and make a point of it. I was just, not only I let it go, I completely forgot about it. And one day, my husband came home and he said, he changed his shirt, he looked a little bit more dapper, and he said, let's go, I'm taking you out to dinner. Oh, that never happens because very busy man. So I got dressed, we went to a nice restaurant in Chany somewhere, and he said, would you like a cocktail? So I said, sure. So we have a little cocktail. And then he says to me, happy anniversary. And I'd completely forgotten about our anniversary. So that means that when you let go and you don't go and harp about things and put your strength in there. Just let it go. Be mellow and just let it happen. Then the energy is shifting, and you leave space for somebody else to express themselves. So that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions? That was beautiful.
Can I
Galina?
add something? Yes.
Yeah, of
in
course.
my
Go
marriage
ahead, Galina.
of 32 years, I learned to let go. I was myself, and I don't want to change my husband. But the way he sees that I was doing everything from my heart, with my love, with the desire to see, for him to make the life easy. After 10 years of marriage, he tell me, Galina, thank you. I make you to marry me, but you make me a happy man.
Wow.
And another thing my mom taught me, never discuss anything if anyone not in a good mood. Let go. It doesn't matter you're right or wrong. Take time to think and to reevaluate what is going on and why this causes you pain or cause the pain of another person, your husband. And one more thing, when sometimes it really was too much and I was crying to Hashem for help, please, I cannot handle this. It's too much for me. I see in front of my husband, my son's face. And I tell Galina how I can be stupid to cry and tell that I have pain if I have son that I love more than I love myself. This is my sunshine, my angel. And it's taken me a couple minutes to switch from having pain to feeling blessing. And my husband have amazing feeling forward me. And he sees that his behavior doesn't affect me so much because I see a picture of my son in front of my husband. He switched right away. This was 3 tricks that I was using in my marriage. And I tell from 32 years, probably 30 years was really happy with marriage. 2 years was total, not like in a row. It was not easy. But if you see something in front of you that you want, not to please somebody, this what bring you blessing, you can do whenever it's take.
Thank you, Galina. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. So one more person. Does anybody have a question for Chany? Anybody have an actual question with what Chany spoke about?
Yeah,
Sure,
I have
Liva?
a question. Yeah,
Go
I mean,
ahead, Siri.
not from me right now, but I know several people. What does a woman do when she's dealing with an emotionally unhealthy husband? Let's say someone who's depressed or has bipolar, things that are really, really seriously challenging. How does this paradigm work in such situation?
That is a great question. And I know this to work specifically in these situations, right? When things are, sometimes somebody calls me and she's like, oh, like, will this kind of help me with my communication? I'm like, this work is not for you. I mean, it's sweet to kind of apply. It might be for you, right? Everyone can gain from it. But the people need to really give themselves the safety, the love, the understanding, the compassion, all the things that you want in a marriage are the women who are not getting it. And they're not getting it for a valid reason. There's nothing else that they can do, right? There's nothing you can do to change the situation. You can't change your husband. You've done enough yourself. But there's something that you can do, which is to take really, really good care of yourself. And these are the situations that I help women in, right? When things are good, I think traditional techniques work. But when things are really challenging, that's when we double down on the creating the life that you want. And it does work.
Thank you.
Okay, Chany, thank you so much. That was incredible.